streaming around the clock on CBS News Boston. You're watching WBZ News.
We begin with the next weather alert as we track rain and freezing temps on this last weekend of March. Hello and thank you for joining us. I'm Tiffany Chan. The calendar says spring, but it's feeling more like winter out there today. Let's get right to WBZ meteorologist Jacob Wycoff with this next weather alert. Jacob.
Unfortunately, a pretty raw weekend. You felt that this morning, right on into the afternoon. Showers both Saturday and Sunday. There is the possibility of some iciness as you go into north and west of Boston, outside of 495, along and north of Route 2, through New Hampshire, through northern Massachusetts. That would be mainly tonight and into tomorrow morning. And then as we go into the next couple of days, we're just dealing with cool and raw conditions until we get to Monday. Monday will be milder, but it's going to be just as rainy. We do have some winter weather advisories posted for Worcester County and Northwest Middlesex County. The pink shaded color here, that's going to be a winter storm warning. That's where we expect the icy conditions to be worse. And we'll watch to see how that plays out into the overnight hours. Right now, we are seeing dry conditions, but this is going to be off and on throughout the day today, where we're going to see a period of showers and then it takes a break. So not a washout of a day, but a cool, dreary, raw day. Same sort of story for tomorrow, where we are actually dry for much of the afternoon for our Sunday. This is Futurecast showing this afternoon a period of some light rain, perhaps a little bit of sleet and freezing rain. And by the time we get to about 7 o'clock, that's where we'll start to see some of those freezing rain conditions really making itself known. We're going to hold on to some showers through Sunday morning, and then just some isolated showers Sunday night. Another round of showers should start to build in. We're not talking about a ton of rain, 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch, not groundbreaking sort of totals, but enough that it throws a wrench into weekend plans. And these are the areas that we're expecting to see the best chance for any sort of freezing rain. We are seeing those cloudy skies sticking around pretty much the rest of today and tomorrow, and our afternoon temperatures are going to be stuck in the 30s. Tomorrow we're back into the mid 40s, mid 60s for Monday, with a chance of some late storms drying out on Tuesday. Back to you.
Jacob, thank you. A teenager has died in a car crash in Falmouth. Police say the crash occurred on Route 28 North Friday afternoon. When officers arrived, they found a car in an embankment with the teen underneath the car. The teenager was pronounced dead at the scene. 2 others were injured and also taken to the hospital. The crash is under investigation. A local soldier who died while serving in the Korean War is finally laid to rest today. Army Private First Class Joseph Travers is being buried in Taunton today. He was reported missing in action in 1951. His remains were returned to Massachusetts this week. He was identified using DNA analysis last year, almost 75 years after he died. Travers is being laid to rest at Cedar Knoll Cemetery. The number of deaths from a powerful 7.7 magnitude earthquake in Myanmar jumped to more than 1,600. Crews continue to pull bodies from the rubble of buildings that collapsed when it struck near the country's second largest city Friday. Thousands of others are injured. The quake was followed by several aftershocks, including one measuring a strong 6.4 magnitude. It sent buildings toppling to the ground, buckled roads, and caused bridges to collapse. The country's military-led government said the number of the dead is expected to rise. Vice President J.D. Vance has returned to the U.S. after a historic visit to Greenland. It's the latest push by the Trump administration as it aims to take control of the semi-autonomous Danish territory. Bradley Blackburn reports.
Vice President J.D. Vance and Second Lady Usha Vance landed at Joint Base Andrews in Maryland Friday after traveling to Greenland. He spent more time in the air than on the ground, but still made history as the highest-ranking U.S. official to visit.
We need to ensure that America is leading in the Arctic, because we know that if America doesn't, other nations will fill the gap where we fall behind.
Vance visited U.S. troops at a space base in the island's far northwest, but he wasn't welcomed by Greenland's officials. President Trump has said he wants the U.S. to take control of the territory, something Greenland does not want.
We have to have Greenland. It's not a question of, do you think we can do without it? We can't.
Greenland's new prime minister said there needs to be a dialogue with the U.S., and the vice president said he expects there will be a deal.
We do not think that military force is ever going to be necessary. We think we're going to be able to cut a deal, Donald Trump style, to ensure the security of this territory, but also the United States of America.
At the White House, President Trump was also focused on the North. With the U.S. and Canada locked in a trade war over tariffs, he spoke for the first time with Canada's new Prime Minister, Mark Carney.
I've always loved Canada. We had a very good conversation.
We agreed to begin comprehensive negotiations about a new economic and security relationship between our two sovereign countries.
New tariffs against goods from Canada are still set to take effect April 2nd. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Investigators are looking for more information after a baby was found dead in a Manchester, New Hampshire pond. Police said they responded to Pond Island Park Thursday for an object floating in the water. It was then determined to be a newborn baby girl. Detectives said they're treating this as a suspicious death investigation. The baby's identity remains unknown. Anyone who might have any information should call Manchester police. A highway tragedy in western Massachusetts. 3 workers were hit and killed by a speeding driver while they were repairing a guardrail on I-91 in West Springfield. The victims are from Brockton and Marlborough. The driver, who police say took off running from the scene, is under arrest and facing manslaughter charges. A flag fight is underway in Marblehead. The school board is considering a policy that could remove all Pride and Black Lives Matter flags from school grounds. The proposal, which has been under discussion for several years now, would restrict flag displays to only the U.S. flag, the Massachusetts state flag, and the Palmia flag. As of now, the school committee has not yet taken a final vote on the policy. Now, global superstar Ed Sheeran is making waves on the North Shore. Sheeran performed inside his highly anticipated pop-up pub in Ipswich Friday night. As WBZ's Brandon Truitt shows us, he may be planning to put on an even bigger spotlight on Massachusetts very soon.
It was a 3-hour private concert that included a music video shoot. Ed Sheeran wrapping his action-packed day inside his pop-up pub with some of his biggest fans, including Jeff and Rocio Oliver.
It was incredible. He was just so easygoing. He played so many songs.
It was unreal. It was, I felt like I was in a dream the whole show. It was sick.
Sheeran arrived in Ipswich Friday morning and hit Market Street, and man, did he bring them alive. Surrounded by thousands of adoring fans, he did a little shopping, shook a lot of hands, and took a lot of pictures.
I yelled out from the street, "Hey Ed, I can't get in. Can I take a picture?" And he said yes.
But it was this moment that made the crowd stand still. Sheeran asking to use the bed of a truck as a makeshift stage. With his guitar in hand, a camera crew in tow, he breaks out into his new unreleased song, Old Phone, the name of the pop-up pub that brought him here.
I found my old phone today in a box that I had hidden away.
The truck belongs to Jack Weil.
That was cool. That was crazy. I don't know. I just was staying out of the way, and all of a sudden he picked me out of the crowd and just asked me to come sing on the truck. And I feel like you got to say yes to that no matter what.
Sheeran made his first stop in the pub earlier Friday, where he surprised fans.
It's great. It looks like a little English pub. Greens and browns and pictures of him hanging everywhere and other pictures of horses and things you would see in an English pub.
A slice of England here at home and an unforgettable day for this coastal town.
It's a great town, great people, and it's exciting. It's really exciting to see our little town on the map.
In Ipswich, Brandon Truitt, WBZ News.
Now, before the grand opening of his pop-up pub in Ipswich, Sheeran stopped by the WBZ News studios. He got a crash course in forecasting from meteorologist Jason Michael. Then it was time to put his new skills to the test.
Hello and welcome to the weather in Ipswich, Massachusetts. As you can see today, it's going to be a little bit cloudy, but you know, all is not lost. It's going to be about 55 degrees, sun and clouds, breezy and mild for the day. Not quite t-shirt weather, but sweater weather if you own one of those, which I'm sure you do because we're in Massachusetts. Then we're going to get a green cloud of something. Hopefully it's not toxic. This is the next 7 days. Cloudy, rainy, 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 sunny, sunny, rainy.
Not bad. I don't think that was anything toxic. I think that was just a little rain. Great job, Ed. And thank you for joining us. The news continues streaming at cbsnews.com/Boston. And if you're watching us on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe. Have a great day.